Hey guys, how's it going?
J-Man's holding the fort for me.
I'm like, what happened there? It's just me. That's all, I could do it. I could do it on my own. He-Man, let's talk about it.
All right. So, J-Man, welcome to Comics Asylum.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. I know you're a huge He-Man fan, so I
Hmm.
wouldn't be doing this with anybody else. Hopefully, Mega J Retro will be able to join us because I'd love to get his input on some of this stuff. But we have a ton of He-Man news to go over, and I'd love to get your input, your viewpoint on all of this because it's been a bit of, would I say it's been an up and down kind of summer for you in terms of the things that you love, FF, Superman,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah. Yeah. I don't like any of it. It's just like, and the thing is that I want to like one of the misconceptions about like sort of I'm in the you're the hater category, right? Uh, the thing about it is that I want to be proven wrong, and I buy everything anyways. So if this new He-Man movie sucks, I'm buying it because I've purchased every He-Man thing there is to purchase on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. If it comes out on Blu-ray, I upgrade it all. Same with Superman. I already pre-ordered the Steel Book of Superman 2025. I already pre-ordered that. Fantastic Four, that'll be pre-ordered immediately. So I collect this stuff anyway. So I love these things. So I want to like the movie. Like every movie I watch, I'm looking to get excited for. I'm not hate watching anything. Superman Returns, when that was coming out, we saw the pictures, and as soon as I saw the picture of Brandon, when I saw Brandon's face, I thought, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is looking pretty good. Pretty solid cast and all that." I was like, Frank Langella, who's Skeletor, coincidentally, so we got a He-Man reference. I was like, okay. Then I saw the costume. I thought, ooh, the S looks kind of small. Like, why is it burgundy? Like, right. It was like I was like, why is the red such a dark red? It's become burgundy. I thought, I don't know about this. And we saw the movie. I was like, yeah, it sucks. But again, night before the movie, I'm playing the music. I'm getting out my Superman comics. I'm pumped. Man of Steel, same thing. Except I loved Man of Steel when I saw it. I thought it was awesome. I came back. I was like, that was awesome. But I was so down on Superman Returns. And then I watched Man of Steel again. I bought the Blu-ray and I was like, yeah, Man of Steel. I was like, oh, this movie sucks. What happened? and the last time that happened was Independence Day. I saw that in the theater, and my buddies and I were coming out. We're like, hell yeah, what? High five. And then I watched it again on VHS Letterbox, and I was like, this movie totally sucks. What happened? Same with Man of Steel. I was like, wow. And I didn't even know, like, I don't know. I was just on such a high. And then Man of Steel was you better check yourself a bit. Like, you get excited for these movies and you're watching them, and then you're having show reactions where everything is great. Like, oh, that's awesome. And it's like, hold on, relax. Like, was this really, that good? So
is it a thing where if you watch it in the theater and depending on how the audience reacts, that can skew you a little bit?
In that time, now I took film courses and writing courses, and I've made my movies and I've written books and stuff. So I know what's good and bad, but sometimes I don't care if I like the characters or whatever. Right. So my thing is not so much that like, this is a great movie or this is a bad movie, the way people react, which is why I'm not a hater. And I'm also not a shill, because I'm going to tell you why I personally liked it or didn't like it. And then you can agree with me or not agree, but I'm giving you my reasons. So I'm not just saying, oh, this was a 10 out of 10. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Or this is a 1 out of 10, or this is trash. Why is it trash? Well, because of whatever, Right. So that's that. I'm not operating even if I say something's terrible, I'm not operating on, well, it's terrible because I need to get clicks for my YouTube channel in order to get people to side with me. Or I'm not shilling to be like, I got to get, maybe Marvel will see my shill thing and give me perks. Like, I don't want perks for movies that suck. Like, we'll get you in early to see Eternals. Yeah, but it sucks, so I don't need to see it early. Like, right? Like, it's not like John Carpenter who was making a banger after banger, and you watch like, I don't know what was after, like, let's say They Live, and you're like, well, this is awesome. And then I can't wait to see the next one, and he's already had 4 or 5 good ones. And then you might want Perks, but I don't want Perks for movies that continuously suck more. But anyway, I walk into Eternals. I'm like, man, I hope this is good. I walk into Superman. I walk into Fantastic Four, and the crowd nothing sways me anymore. Man of Steel, I'm not sure. I love Superman so much that I'm more willing to forgive its shortcomings because it's Superman. And Batman, I can almost take in any form as long as it's like okay. Spider-Man, that's your guy. Spider-Man's like top 5. Well, if I do top 5 heroes and I don't count, like if I count Supergirl and Robin as just clones of Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Superman means Superman, Supergirl, whatever, Superboy. Batman means Robin, and it means, like Dick or Nightwing. It means all of those guys. So Spider-Man's like the best Marvel character, and like top 5. Yeah, I've got a tattoo of him somewhere. Yeah, right there.
There you go.
So I love Spider-Man. So Ted Raimi, he's in it. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. I thought Green Goblin looked crap, but Willem Dafoe was like awesome.
Yes.
And Tobey Maguire was awesome. And they had the organic web shooters, which I thought, oh, that's kind of dumb. But again, I'd rather have the movie with organic web shooters than not have the movie because it was really good. And we could talk about the He-Man movie, same thing. So then when Spider-Man 2 came out, which is one of the best superhero movies just of all time anyways, and facts, right? Like, I mean, if you're getting emotional, like when Aunt May is saying all of us need this hero, where is he? I was like, shit, this is like really good. Like, I wasn't thinking I'm going to be getting like emotional in the theater watching that. Other than that, I hardly get emotional. Right. But I definitely did on that. I was like, wow, it's good. Doc Ock was awesome. And again, Doc Ock, the chip, it's movieized a bit. You're like, can't he just be a bad guy? Like it's always got to be some kind of bullshit, right? But the movie was awesome, and it's a pretty good Spider-Man. And then after that, it was just like, more down. It just kind of went downhill, and I don't know where we're at now.
Spider-Man 3. I had a buddy of mine who took me to it for my birthday, and he apologized halfway through the movie.
Oh no, I don't think it's that bad. I think there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, firstly, Sandman looks awesome.
I would argue he is the most on-brand
I agree with
representation of a comic book character.
Yeah, I agree with you.
In any universe, whether it's DC, Marvel, whatever. Like,
he's top.
Nailed it.
He's top whatever. Pick a top number. Like, I mean, Christopher Reeve Superman is Superman. Rorschach, Jackie Earle Haley is exactly Rorschach. Yeah. So, but yeah, Sandman, you're like, yeah, that's Sandman. Like, he even had the shirt. I was like, shit, I'm like, oh my God, it's the real, it's not movie Sand. Like, Green Goblin is movie Green Goblin, and Doc Ock is movie Doc Ock. Sandman's like, that's the real Sandman, like right there.
Right out of Ditko's art team.
Yeah, he has the stripe. I was like, he's got the stripes and shit. This is so awesome. And I even the hair, like they did the hair and everything. I was like, wow, this guy, the Widow's Peak kind of.
Yes.
Like, shit, this is really cool. I'm like, and he looked awesome and he fought awesome. I just didn't like, why do they have to have him in the origin of the Bends? Like, why is this happening? Like, I don't.
It's that whole thing of everything must be connected. Like in movies, there's nothing that's random, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, Joker kills Batman's parents. Are you effing kidding me? Like, come
on. James Bond, like Blofeld's James Bond's stepbrother, like that. I'm out after that.
Oh, I hated that. That was Austin Powers. They made fun of that with Dr. Evil. Oh, they're really brothers. He. And it's like, that's a joke. And then you use that for real.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that where I kind of tire of it. But when they nail elements of a character, then I'm okay. Mm-hmm. And with that, Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what we're going to get? Because we're going to dive into a new casting announcement. I don't know if everyone's aware of it, but Kristen Wiig's going to be Roboto.
I mean, this is not. My problem is that, okay, this movie, okay, there's Masters of the Universe, the old movie with Dolph Lundgren, which I love. So that movie, they couldn't do Orko, so they gave us Gwildor. and then later Gwildor got incorporated into the lore and became a character because they made a figure for him and stuff. They couldn't get it. We didn't get Merman because they're like, well, there's already too many guys. Okay, so we got Blade, who got in court. We got Zerad, who is kind of your merman-ish kind of like looking guy. No, he's not merman at all, but whatever. We got Beast. If you look at it, we got He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, Sorceress, Skeletor, Evelyn, Beastman. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Right, 7 pretty, and you could tell who they were if you pause the screen. You're like, okay, out of the He-Man pantheon, who's that? You're like, I guess that's Sorceress. Even though they're movieized, it's a little bit like New Gods. There's the boom tubes, and we know it's a New Gods thing. Anyway, so, but they never made fun of things. This is the problem. This is the thing with this movie. This casting, I actually like Kristen Wiig, but I don't like her for Roboto.
I love her. Yeah. I love Alison Brie, who we'll get to as well too.
Sure, but
I don't know, because I agree with you with where this is going. Right. It's like when you hear, they're going to remake something, and so we're going to remake the $6 Million Man.
Sure,
and it's automatically a comedy. Like,
right?
Like why? Like Starsky and Hutch. Why was that a comedy?
Right. I hated it.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Exactly. So Roboto's a female voice, and then there's it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, you have it a male. Like, why even have Roboto cast as anything? Just have a voice actor. Like, it doesn't need to be anyone famous. Like, why does it need to be someone? I love Roboto. I have, like, at my prime, I had 64 He-Man figures as a kid. Now, a lot of those got damaged. I have all of the ones I had as a kid, but a lot of them are damaged. So I've replaced a lot of them because I'm trying to finish off the vintage collection. And love Roboto, got him as a kid, right? Why does he need to be? Firstly, why does he need to be in this movie? Secondly, if he's in this movie, awesome. Why does it need to be a famous actor or actress playing the voice at all? Just have a voice actor play the voice of Roboto with an animatronic guy. Or if they're going to say he's the computer, he's like a computer system, like a Brainiac. You remember how they revamped Brainiac to be the Kryptonian computer? So maybe he's the Eternian computer, right? Okay, but why does it need to be Kristen Wiig? Like, why does it need to be like pick? Even if it was like,
what's
hello,
up, Jay?
What's going on, boys? Sorry, I'm late.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm glad you were able to make it. J-Man is going into his thoughts on Kristen Wiig as Rebecca.
Right. Yeah. So so real quick background. I'm a super He-Man guy. J-Man. My channel is He-Man. My logo is the J with the crack in it from the battle armor damage crack. My intro is Skeletor punching my logo and cracking it. So I'm a big He-Man guy. Oh, we lost him. Oh, he's probably linking his.
Probably right. So the same thing that happened to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, he will be back.
He'll be back in like 20 seconds or something.
He just boom tuned out.
boom tuned. Yeah. So I'm just saying that, like, why do you need someone famous? Like, why do you need a famous actor or actress to play the voice of Roboto who doesn't have any facial features anyways? You could just get a voice actor to play the character. And if it doesn't matter if it's a male or female, then why not just have it a male voice? Like, what is the difference? It just signals to me that we're already being weird. Like, when they did the first Dolph Lundgren movie, they had to make choices because of budget, and Canon had no money, and we all know that that's a disaster, right? So they had to do all these certain things, but I never felt like they're distancing themselves. Now that they're doing a new He-Man, I saw the sword, and you're like, wow, that looks really cool. Right. And you see some of the stuff, like, oh, this looks really good. Then they did the font, right? They did this like master, but they're not saying He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. They're just saying Masters of the Universe, which the old movie did too, fine. And they had the songs like, you're like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. It's that. And then you see the guy, you're like, this guy looks pretty good. Like, he's got the hair and everything. Okay. And then it's like, oh, he has no memory. I'm like, oh. So now it's going to be 40 minutes of him not having a memory and trying to figure out who he is. And they're going to say, you're He-Man. And he's going to say, like, I'm He-Man. That's a silly name. That's kind of stupid. Like, they're going to make fun. All of this stuff is to distance themselves from the material and be like, we know He-Man's kind of stupid, but we're still making this movie. Like, as opposed to just make it. Like, embrace it. Don't. I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make fun of the word He-Man. They're going to be like, oh, that's silly. What? Or like, what's my sister's name? She-Ra or something. Like, they're going to make some stupid joke like the X-Men yellow costume. joke in that first, like even in the first X-Men movie, as soon as he said yellow spandex, I was like, yeah, but that's what Wolverine wears. So if you're making fun of that, then what am I watching? If you're making fun of the thing that you're making, I hate that. So that's my problem. It's like stuff like this where it's like, who cares who plays Roboto? So just have it be a generic male voice. That's it. Like, what I like Kristen Wiig. Make Kristen Wiig another character. Like, make her a character on screen and then have her be there.
Not only that, she's such an amazing comedic actress.
She's funny.
Why have her hidden?
Yeah, so it's gonna be like, I am Roboto. It's gonna be like what's her name, Magel from Star Trek, being the voice of the which is awesome. That I love Star Trek, and I love that she's the voice. But like, what is the point of it? This, like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's not even like because like if you think about Paul Bettany and he was Jarvis.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but he was set up to become Vision.
He's awesome.
And he was awesome. So that makes
he's like the best character for me.
Yeah, arguably, absolutely.
Not better than Captain America, but like, I mean, he's like top 5 or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's curious, other than maybe this is the Groot angle, and you have a name, and it could be anybody,
right?
But it's just another name to bring eyeballs. Because Vin Diesel, like, anyone could have been Groot. The three of us could have been Groot.
Yeah. Yeah, even Vin Diesel being Groot is just like, I'm like, okay, I don't, like, whatever. Like, it's cute, but like, who cares?
What do you say, Jay? And then we'll get over to some comments.
So, I mean, this was just a couple days ago, right? And
yeah, I think just yesterday.
Yeah, I saw the announcement, and to be perfectly honest with you, I was like, meh. There are more pressing concerns about this movie. I mean, I haven't been shy about my opinions on the film itself, and the fact that J-Man, you said it right. I think he's whisked away as a child, though. I think he's whisked away as a child. He's going to be like, basically the sorceress will conjure a spell or open up a portal, toss him into Terran, where obviously his mother was born. And I have a funny feeling, if you look, so here I have a couple of theories, and spoilers ahead if anybody doesn't want to hear this. But if you look at the credits on IMDb, Fisto has 2 names. He has Fisto is his Eternian name, but he also has a Terran name. So I'm curious to find out if Fisto is actually sent to protect him and maybe acts as his guardian, best friend or something like that. And he actually tells him about stories of Eternia, and maybe because my biggest problem with this film will be, how does he have a connection with Eternia? I don't see how that's even possible. Why would anybody fight for a planet they've never even known or never even knew was around? Because when you're a kid, you don't remember, you forget things really quickly. You know what I mean? Like they're like flashbacks for you. So for me, the biggest issue is not, who's playing who really, because I could have I've mentioned the idea in the past that I think Idris Elba is going to be an incredible Man-at-Arms. But I still have a very difficult time separating my 40-year understanding that Duncan is the captain of the guard, but he looks like my vision of a version of Duncan from Eternia doesn't look like that. You know what I mean? He looks like Duncan. But I know for a fact, no matter what, Idris Elba is going to slay this role, because again, he's no matter what he does, he's freaking incredible in it. So I'm eager to see how he takes it on, right? But now with this new casting of, Roboto, I honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. But it's kind of like, as you said, Majel Barrett, right? Like the voice of the computer. It's just one of those things. They need a filler character, and I guess for Roboto fans, you also have a couple of weird things, because if you watch the Filmation edition of Roboto, he sounds really stupid. Robot, that kind of ridiculousness. So it's just as stupid that way. And then you go to Revolution. He sounded like a semi-intelligent automaton. You know what I mean? But he sacrificed his sacrifice. Okay, spoilers ahead. Jeez Louise. If you haven't seen the Revelation, his sacrifice allowed for the return of He-Man to be able to transform. So that in and of itself is a noble gesture, right? So it'll be really interesting to see what role this version of Roboto plays. Now, it's funny though, because a good friend of the channel, Mr. Home Arcade, he actually positioned Roboto because there's actually two versions of Roboto. Actually there are like 5 versions of Roboto, but anyway, the toy versions, there are actually 2. There's the original release, and then there's the cartoon the comic book release. And what Mr. Home Arcade did in his parody videos is he made the comic version, which was colored in orange and had a heart in the middle of his chest. He made her into a feminine version of Roboto. So that's hilarious, right? And if you guys should definitely check out Mr. Home Arcade's parody videos. They're hilarious. And I think that is maybe what they're doing with this. Just not so much in comedy wise, but just to kind of turn expectations on their heads. And we don't even know what Roboto's going to look like. I doubt Roboto's going to look like this. You know what I mean? And for the most part, perhaps Steve, you're right. Perhaps this is just big name, big recognition. Get these voice actors, because it happens to Disney films. Disney films don't really need big name voice actors to Disney and Pixar. They can hold their own right now, but they always grab an A-lister or as close to an A-lister as they can, just to help the recognition of the movie. And it's hilarious because half the time I don't even know that they're those people, because they
until you see the credits, right?
Because their performances are so good anyway. So who really cares? But it's the Hollywood machine doing what the Hollywood machine does. It needs big names, big recognition, this is a big budget film, right? So-called, right? But we know for a fact that Peter Jackson turned all of that upside down in his head. Freaking the Lord of the Rings had no big stars. I guess you could say John Rhys Davies and a few other notable names, but for the most part, there really wasn't anybody recognizable in that film. They were all, they were all in the Hollywood machine. But for the most part, I think at least 50% of the cast was Kiwi. You know what I mean? And
there were Kiwi stars. Kiwi and Australian stars, definitely.
Yeah, Kiwi and Australian stars. And the other half was British. You know what I mean? Of course, you have Elijah Wood. I mean, that is the biggest name in that roster. But everybody else was virtually nobodies. Viggo Mortensen.
Well, Ian McKellen would have been.
Yeah, McKellen.
Okay, no, Ian McKellen, yes, of course. He did the X-Men. He did some other really notable films. But really, he still wasn't like a leading man.
He wasn't the marquee. He would not have been the marquee. Yeah, he essentially would have been Sir Alec Guinness.
Yes. Exactly.
Or Connery in Highlander or something.
Exactly. He was the supporting character. He was the support. Frodo was always going to be the lead, right? Frodo was always going to be lead, and obviously, eventually, Aragorn became the lead, right? But there were multiple times where people switched roles, right? And arguably, Legolas there. What's his name again? Somebody help me here.
It's what's his name? Oh God, I don't want to Google it.
Now I can't forget it. Now I can't remember it. In the chat, anybody?
Legolas. Orlando Bloom. There you go.
Orlando Bloom.
Just playing yogurt with the win. Yeah, go. His career would like if it wasn't for Lord of the Rings, he would have gone nowhere.
Right.
Like he was just an up and coming guy, and all of a sudden he landed Pirates of the Caribbean, and his freaking career just skyrocketed. Right. So it's definitely one of those situations where Hollywood just needs to Hollywood. That's what it is. The Hollywood machine, producers, directors, they're always going to default to the idea. And that's exactly why Earth has to be in this, because this idea of this is a tween movie, this is a kid's movie, right? It's exactly the same mentality it was in the 80s. If we don't connect this with the kids' audience and let them understand, because kids are stupid. They don't understand that this is an alien world. They don't get it. They're not going to understand it. No, kids are not stupid, especially in today's day and age. But it doesn't matter. The Hollywood machine always says, no, if it's related to kids, it has to have Earth in it somewhere, which is why we're never going to actually have a live-action movie, which doesn't at least, like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anybody who remembers that god-awful Dragon Ball film, they needed to Earth, right? So that's exactly how these things play out, unfortunately.
They're not learning. Okay, they're not learning anything. Who is this movie for? Because None of my nieces and nephews, I have 2 sets, older, younger, and I've tried. I bought them the toys they're not getting into it. Kids are not watching this. Even when they did Master of the Universe Origins, adults bought those toys, even though they were in all of the department stores like Walmart and whatever. Toys R Us. Adults are getting them. So kids are done. The people who watched Revolutions when that was out, those again were adults, and those were people. There's the diehard fans who watched everything. I watched 2000X. I own New Adventures. I've seen all of She-Ra. I've seen everything that there's been, and I own it all from VHS tapes of He-Man up to the Steelbook collection of whatever just came out. And I've watched the CGI Netflix, the CGI one. I don't know what it's called. It's like a different kind of one. So when those new ones came out, it's only the people, there's like the hardcore guys who watch everything. And then there's the people who are watching it because, oh, it's on Netflix, it's new. And they're all talking like they don't know what's going on with He-Man. They're like, oh yeah, it's great to see He-Man again. It's like, He-Man's been around forever. Like, it's not really gone away. It's like they didn't keep up with it. This is the people that watched Force Awakens and were like, wow, this is so great. I'm like, it's just a copy of episode 4. It's just renamed, and it's like, no, it's a little bit similar. I'm like, no, it's the exact same movie. When's the last time you watched Star Wars? Oh, I haven't watched Star Wars in 20 years. It's like, right, I watched it 5 minutes ago. So He-Man never went away for me. So the thing is that I'm not sure what this movie is going for, because it's not like Transformers, which has a built-in coolness of cars and robots, which generic people will be like, oh, cars and robots, that's sick. And they're fighting, because those movies are absolutely awful if you know anything about Transformers. But this movie, I have no idea who it's for. Kids are not going to go. They're just not going to fantasy. Fantasy doesn't have the built-in audience of like action and robots. It just doesn't have it. I don't care what stars, even if Tom Cruise is in this, they're going to be like, I don't think they're going to care. So the only people left are going to be the hardcore guys. And the hardcore guys, it's like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. What are your thoughts?
Well, here's a question. Is there, and then we'll get to some comments.
Yeah.
Are they trying to balance nostalgia, like the passive fan and nostalgia? Oh, I know that name, with the hardcore fans, because those things never come together unless, like you said, Jay, you're dealing with things that are just absolutely cool off the hop, like robots.
A cool car turning into a robot. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, whether it's Transformers or whatever you call it.
Whatever.
So John Guzman, Star Wars, no Earth there. Yes. Okay. So here's the thing about that comment. So if you want to bring that comment up, Steve, it's the last one. So John, you're right. Star Wars, no Earth. Do you know how hard it was for Lucas to actually get a film like that made? People laughed at him, right? The Hollywood did not accept it at all. It was one of those films which basically they were like, this is a joke. This is science fiction at the time was a joke. Even today, like Academy Awards for science fiction are rare, very, very rare. So, and what happened afterwards? After it became a big success, all of a sudden, everything related to Star movies, like they dusted off Star Trek, they dusted off Battlestar Galactica. They were all of a sudden star-based films became a thing. And yeah, sure, no Earth, right? Because they're traveling the galaxy, but they're still Terrans, right? Star Wars is probably the only one where they don't really acknowledge that there's any sort of Earth connection, and it's on a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago, right? So yeah, I get you, but here's the problem: Star Wars, even though it had a children's connection, it was still, at least in Lucas's eyes, it could have grown up with its audience, kind of like the way Harry Potter grew up with its audience. Because if you actually follow the progression of Harry Potter, it gets dark. It gets dark really quick. Like actually, arguably it gets dark very progressively. But by the end of it, people are dying, like left, right, and center. Like people are betraying each other. They're cutthroats. There's even innuendo of people sexual situations and stuff. Anyway, but who is this movie for? This movie is actually it is actually, believe it or not, and I'm going on a limb by saying this, but I actually do believe that in a lot of ways, this movie, the way it was pitched, maybe, is a perfect storm for what we in the 80s as kids didn't understand. And I still don't believe in this really, but I think parental groups at the time, if this was still an active thing, would probably be saying, this is capitalism at its worst. You are using this film to create toys. which is basically what it is. Barbie is the reason why this film can exist. The He-Man film was in development hell forever. It was in much like Thundercats, much like any of the 80s cartoon properties that have always been put up for possible movie treatments. This movie really wouldn't have had a prayer if Barbie didn't make $1 billion. Because Barbie made $1 billion, all of a sudden Mattel's IPs became something that they're, oh crap, we can do something with this, right? And all of a sudden He-Man gets greenlit, right? Because they already had a movie in the 80s. And yeah, it didn't do too well, but you know what? For Mattel, it means that they can make movie-based toys. It means that they can license out likenesses. It means that they can do stuff with this. It is the toy industry which is driving this. And again, if you're a cynical person, something like me, you'll basically go back and say, "Yep, it's that capitalistic idea again." You create programming to sell toys to kids, and that's actually why we're kind of in a situation here. What happened during the pandemic is people started reconnecting with their childhoods. To be honest with you, right? Which is why there was such a big boom of toy sales in during the pandemic. Because all of a sudden people have, I'm not going to say disposable income, but they were given stipends to continue, with everyday life, right? But those stipends, in some cases, just allowed for additional extras. Let's just say, right? And stipends, by the way. So all of a sudden, they have a few dollars extra, and guess what they do? They buy video games. They buy new TVs. They buy the different appliances. They buy whatever else they need to continue living normally a comfortable life. But some people decided, you know what? I remember that Ghostbusters film. I want a proton pack. I remember that. I remember that Master Universe toys. Guess what? All of a sudden, 40th anniversary comes out. It's in the middle of the pandemic. Mattel decides, you know what? Old people are connecting with retro properties. Let's bring up Master Universe again. They literally took it away from Super 7 and basically created an entire new line of Master Universe Origins figures. And then they said, we're going to actually put a cartoon out. We're going to create this thing called Masterverse. And now we're going to create toys for the Masterverse based off of this Revelations cartoon, right? It's that same, again, being cynical, it's that same machine where they just keep pumping up media to support the toy brands, right? And Hasbro, they dusted off G.I. Joe. All of a sudden, G.I. Joe's a big hit, right? Star Wars, which never actually went away, it went balls in and kept going. And unfortunately now, that recycling machine really has kind of hit its peak with Star Wars. And now the Star Wars crews are basically like, all right, that's one too many Mandos now. We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring something new, right? Which is where Skeleton Crew came in. Skeleton Crew is brand new. All of a sudden, brand new toys, right? So this is all conspiracy, by the way. This is not proven facts. I'm being anecdotal at best here. I'm just like spouting out, like theories here, like they're going on tomorrow. But it is an interesting parallel between the toy sales and media sales. All of a sudden, what I mean? So,
yeah.
Very
like, if we go with Ghostbusters, those movies did not do well, and no one really likes them. Transformers 1, which I actually argue is a very good Transformers movie, again, did not do well enough. All of these properties they're bringing them back in hopes to make something, but it's not happening. And now they're talking, maybe Michael Bay will come back. And the Transformers toys sell themselves because I buy them. Got a whole shitload. I got two away from forming my Devastator. I'm waiting for Mixmaster and that thing. Nice. So it's like we're buying those things regardless of whether the movie is good or bad, because even during the Michael Bay movies, which were awful, I was still like, well, I gotta buy some toys here and there. We were still getting some toys here because they look cool. Yeah. And same with Origins, which I bought a shit ton, got the gray skull of that.
Arguably, Transformers did hit a child market, because there are children who grew up with this version of Michael Bay Transformers, and they are diehard Transformers fans.
Yes, but that's not the children now. Like, my nieces and nephews saw Transformers and they didn't care. And they're like, okay, they didn't buy the toys. Also, the toys are way too expensive. The price points, my mom was calling me trying to buy for my niece and nephew. And they're like, oh, Transformers. Like, oh my God, it's like $50. We're in Canada, guys. It's like $50 and it's just like this. I was like, I know, Mom. I was like, it's you can't buy any. So I bought them the little Battler things, which were, he used it for maybe an hour, and then that was it.
There is a kids segment for Transformers though, and it's actually quite successful. right? I mean, like they've tried Earthspark. You know what I mean? They've tried kids media with Transformers to varying degrees of success and varying degrees of failure.
But that still has the vehicle aspect. Don't forget the vehicles and robots aspect.
Exactly
He-Man doesn't have that.
There is the cool factor of it. Well, He-Man could have that, but the real problem is that you're right. They have not been able to identify how to get this market. The Netflix CGI series, which arguably was a great show.
I thought it was great, and I bought many of the toys.
It was a great show for kids. It was.
Yeah, it was a good show for kids. Yeah, I agree with that.
But the real problem with that is it's no longer shows are no longer syndicatable anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get them in the eyes of kids properly anymore.
That's right.
They haven't figured out a way to deliver content to children like they used to back in the 80s. You know what I mean? Now kids basically watch it on their own time, wherever they decide to watch it. And I think what they were hoping for was that parents would watch it with the kids, but that's not how it works today. Today, kids and parents don't really do that, right? Parents do their work, and kids go to kids watch it. I think
on their devices or
on their devices.
I think things that we're also missing too is when we watched this stuff when we were younger, you were locked in a certain area of the house, which was communal.
Yeah.
So there were more than one or two people who would be watching it over your shoulder, or your brothers or your sisters, your friends might come over to watch an episode. Now everyone's on their device, and they could be at the cottage.
It's a solo experience.
It's a very singular experience. And I think that shuts out a lot of like the younger generation if there isn't an amazing toy line to generate that interest. Because Jay, I look at the stuff you have on your channel, with all the HasLabs and all that kind of stuff, and the majority of the heat that I see from Masters of the Universe is from the crowdfunding toys for the older gen. It's not necessarily new programming or toys for 8-year-olds.
So I think J-Man will understand where I'm coming from this. Origins just missed its mark, but in the collector market anyway, it is probably the only toy on the market, even today, that you can probably gift your kid and not worry that you're going to have a $50 or $80 toy be destroyed by them. Because Master Universe Origins, when it first hit the market in Walmart, it was $12 freaking dollars, even here in Canada. Even here,
it was like 14 or something or whatever, just a little bit.
It was so affordable. It was ridiculous. It was just crazy. And it's the only one because they're made to come apart.
Yeah.
They're made to break. Right? They're actually the gimmick behind them is that you take the arms off, you hot swap it with other characters. There actually is a really cool gimmick to these toys, and it really is a shame that it didn't hit its market. Right?
It's a big shame. It's the best of all worlds. It's the scale, the paint, the color scheme. It's the exact toys we had as little kids, but made durable. Yep. And better because look, every single one of my legs came off right on that rubber.
Yeah, the dumbbell pin and just like the O-rings, just like everything, they degrade. Now that's no longer really an issue because they snap in right now. But that's the way it goes. But it just missed the mark. We have a bunch of comments to go through.
I'm gonna go back and forth because the messages and the comments are blown up. So there's the case of the 2011 Thundercats animated that got canceled because of low toy sales. And
and I've got the toys for that, and I've got that on DVD, and that was the one that looked more like an anime program, right, rather than an American cell animated kind of thing.
And I personally, because I'm not a Thundercats stan, I loved the look of that cartoon.
Yeah, like the 2000X He-Man was actually starting to lean into an anime type of idea. It was actually quite violent. Yeah. I remember watching the first couple episodes when it first aired, and I was like, "Holy crap, those are
badass!
Those are heavy hits, man! Like you could feel those hits. You know what I mean?"
Right.
And the very first episode, Skeletor gets his face melted off.
Yeah, it's melted. That's awesome.
Literally melted off. So it was more of a tween thing, and it actually got a PG rating. I was shocked. You know what I mean? I was like, "This is not G. This is a different story entirely." And that was great. They were trying to mature with a growing age group, right? Mm-hmm. But just like that, just like Thundercats, the time slot really screwed up its overall appeal. And the toys themselves, even though they looked amazing, I argue they weren't really more for kids. They were actually very much adult oriented. Their design,
sure.
their look, their playability.
Playability sucked. I got them all. I have almost every single one of them. They're not great.
Not the Four Horsemen, but they were going for aesthetics first, not really playability. Because He-Man's arms are kind of like this. They
Yeah. You could kind of move them. Well, Man at Arms couldn't do anything. Like Man at Arms looked awesome, but you couldn't do anything with them. Like the shoulder pad was huge. It's like you couldn't turn. And like he had cool attachments and stuff. They should have went more like Centurions, in my opinion, if they were going to go and then have like attachments if you want to do accessories. But like it felt like they had the bent legs, and it's like it's like you couldn't really. There was no joints. There wasn't enough joints in them. I don't know how many points of articulation there were. I don't remember. Most of mine are in the packaging.
Yeah, this is the pre idea of multiple points, but like this is 5 POA, 6 POA. You know what I mean? This is again, this was supposed to be marketed towards kids, but the problem is, as cool as they look, they weren't really much fun to play with. Let's be perfect.
Yeah, you couldn't play with them. No way.
No, they were pretty much stanchions, little tiny stanchions.
All right, Steve, how you gonna do? This is how I feel. now it's on you. Go ahead. Go through all 400 of these comments. It's impossible.
So, it's impossible, but I'll cherry pick some of the good ones. And there's been some really interesting comments too, because
what I like to do
there's a segment of the people that are watching where it's like it's a robot.
Yeah. What I like to do, Steve, is I like to star the best ones, and then I can go to the stars comments, and then I can just like grab while somebody's rambling, you can just like start cherry picking things and just get a really quick references.
Right. So we'll go with this one again with Hitchcock 100. Well, technically, Roboto have no gender. It's a robot. The other characters are matching their genders, so it's just one small change.
I mean, if it doesn't matter, then have it be a guy. Like, if you say it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. You may as well have it just be the regular Roboto. Like, that's my opinion.
I'm not really as critical as that. I think that the it better match, but you know what? It better be a really good, interesting tale for Roboto. If you're here's my problem with things like this. I look at it like the Street Fighter problem, right? You have 20 characters that need a minute of screen time, right? You're just basically shoveling characters to get them their screen time and have again, you're not even appealing to younger audiences here because they don't know who they are anyway. But you're basically getting that the elder audience say, freaking, that's really what you're going for at that stage, because you're just, hey, it's Roboto, hey, it's Spike,
right?
Oh my gosh, right? And people are looking for the deeper cuts. They're like, oh, it's Pig Boy, right? And then you have everyone just talking, who's Pig Boy? Yo, you don't remember Pig Boy, right? And it's just that's what that is. I'm hoping that with all of these, because a lot of the characters really have no name credits right now, mainly because they're probably not going to talk, right? Like I said, Spikor doesn't have he hasn't been announced, but we know he's going to film because they said that there was in the preview, they said that he was there, kind of things like that. But all these named actors, there better be a good reason for them, is what I'm trying to say. Like, there better be
that's a good point.
I was in there.
Yeah. Well, I always ask myself this question. This is the question I always ask myself for any of these things. If it was, okay, let's use Roboto. If it was a guy's voice, would you be angry and be like, no, it would have been much better if it was a woman's voice? No, you'd be like, oh yeah, Roboto's a guy. Like if they said Evelyn and they made Evelyn a boy or something, which they wouldn't do. But if you did, you'd be like, that's weird, right? Like, so that's my only thing. Again, Idris Elba, if you want to use Man-Arms, I don't think that matters as much because he's a good actor and you're casting a good actor. And Man at Arms doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter that much, right? Like really, like it's like, I mean, if you made Man at Arms a woman, that would be very weird. But because every woman at arms, I guess you could do woman.
But that's if we're following that canon, that's why Andra is now the Man at Arms, right? I mean, like there's.
Yeah, that I don't like. I don't like any. It's like just. If you're going to do the character, do it. I just feel that it's distancing themselves. It's like, we can do it better because we're making this change. It's like, why don't you just adapt the thing? Or if you don't think it should be adapted, then don't make it. That's my stance. Like, if you don't think, I use Dukes of Hazzard as a good example. Dukes of Hazzard doesn't fit today anymore. It's over. Instead of trying to make them, well, instead of making moonshiners, let's make them drug dealers, because moonshining is nothing, right? Well, they'd have to be drug dealers, right, in order for it to be the same theme of, right? Like it's just like they're outlaws or whatever. It's like, and you're not gonna have the flag. You're not gonna have any of that. So just don't make Dukes of Hazzard. Let it be a product of its time, and we move on with our lives with other products. And I love Dukes of Hazzard.
On that same argument, I think that it no longer matters. It's already done. There really is. When I've heard that announcement, I really was like, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Let's see how it plays out. My biggest problem, if any of them, regardless of the casting, is this damn thing going to be a good movie? Because that's really my biggest problem. If it just ends up being this really fluff piece, I'm hoping not. Because I'm hoping Travis Knight will have the same magic he did for Bumblebee. Which, when I first saw all those characters, the way they were supposed to be, the first 10 minutes of Bumblebee was freaking awesome.
Best Transformer movie ever.
So here's a good question, since you brought it. I thought Bumblebee was like okay. I thought it would. It was like what?
Those first 10 minutes were fantastic. Like
right. So this is what I'm saying. Everyone's saying the first 10 minutes, but why? Because it was what you wanted and it looked the same. So why can't we have that for the whole? Not the first 10 minutes, the whole 2 hours. Or same with He-Man. You're going to say like the first 10 minutes of He-Man's awesome because it's going to look cool. Well, why can't it just look all? It's going
to be terrible.
I know it's going to be terrible. But I'm saying
on Earth.
Everyone says that. So Bumblebee has 90 minutes of whatever and 10 minutes of good, and everyone only talks for the 10 minutes because that was the only part that was on Cybertron with their G1 look, with them being characters in the war. I don't care about Haley Steinfeld or any of that other garbage that happens. The rest of that movie is whatever. So it's a 10-minute movie, and I never watched it again. I own it on 4K, but I watched the 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm never watching the rest of this ever again.
I had enough fun with the rest of the movie. I mean, the story itself wasn't too bad. Actually, I argue it was better than most of the Bay films.
It's better than all the Bay films, but I agree. I think it's better than all the Bay films, but it's still not. It's not Transformers. It's still not Transformers.
But it is, and I will concede to this. It is this generation's Transformers. I do concede to that. And I think that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this for this generation, but they cannot get away from leaning on the older generation to really basically buy tickets. Because in order to get younger people into these seats, it's a hard ask. They're really trying with Galitzine because he's hot, right? He's hot. He's gonna be in a freaking furry loincloth. He's gonna have nothing on, which is his traditional thing. He takes off his shirt in pretty much every one of his movies, right? You have Mendez, who is also hot, right? But they're young. They're up and coming, and they have a supporting cast which is still, sexy, and they're doing that, but they're also known names, right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to set this up for hopefully a franchise, and I don't think that that's wrong. I think that, and Pixel Dan said this about the Mutant Mayhem movie, which I thought was excellent, by the way. I thought that was a great film. It's not really for us. On that sense, right? Because the style was different. But really, I watched it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a new take on Turtles, and I thought that
I've got that on 4K. I turned it off after 15 minutes. My wife and I sat down to watch it. We just turned it. We both love Ninja Turtles. We turned it off. They learned Kung Fu from a book. So firstly, it's not ninjutsu because you watch Shaw Brothers movies or whatever. They're watching like Shaw Brothers movies. Like, that's not ninjas. And then they learned it from a book. I'm like, this is not Ninja Turtles. This is Kung Fu Turtles. Yeah. You can't learn from a book. I was like, this is not for me.
There's the what's it called? The pedigree of the idea of the Foot Clan and all that stuff. It was thrown out the window. But you know what? We didn't see Shredder was not even a part of the movie at all, right?
I didn't finish it. I own it. Maybe I'll finish it one day, but I haven't watched it.
So there is no Foot Clan. There's no Foot Clan in the movie. It's called Mutant Mayhem because that's what it is. It's a whole bunch of movies. It has nothing to. They are writing a new history for Turtles, and honestly, because of what it was, I thought I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, right? I thought it was really, really good for what it was, right? But if you are an Easton and Laird fan, if you're somebody who is looking for the Foot Clan, the idea of a rat trying to avenge his master's death, you know what I mean? Or if you're looking for the cartoon version, which is very different,
Yes, that's
Like,
different.
there's another example of that, right?
Yeah,
Like the
that's
cartoon
different.
changed as well, right? So there is
Yeah,
arguments to that
Motoyoshi is
idea that
Splinter.
should you have gone with the original, with the original source material, or was it better idea to change it slightly for kids? So if you think about it that way, there is a lot of play involved, right?
Mhm.
Because and even the Archie comics is different, right? They're actually very distinctive versions of turtles, and each one
Yeah.
is able to live in its own sphere, right? I can accept. Here's what I've had to. Here's what I've had to learn over the years. I can accept that the Bay films are the Bay films. I hate them, and I don't
The
want them.
Ninja Turtles Bay films or the Transformers Bay films or both?
No, that's what I mean. The sorry.
But
Yeah, we're getting into that.
remember,
next,
he's
right?
ruining. He's trying to ruin as many
We're
things
trying
as
to
he
get-
can. Yeah.
I think I'll just lump them into the idea. Right? The Bay Turtles, the Bay Transformers, they are their own thing. They're their own universes,
Yeah.
and they can exist in there, right? Nobody even talks about the Bay Turtles at all. Like everyone's basically forgotten about them, right?
So it was a bad idea,
Well,
right?
no, that's not.
That's proven that it's bad
No,
because
no,
no one's
no,
ever
not
gone back to
necessarily.
that.
There are fans of it. It's just never going to reach the echelon that Turtles is the gift that keeps on giving. It has never left the public consciousness. Why? Because it continues to evolve with each generation that it encounters. It's absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? The 2000 the 80s turtles are extremely different. The 90s turtles are extremely different. The 2000s turtles are different. The 2010s, the 2020s, each one is actually really different from each other. And that's the strength of turtles. They've been able to evolve with each generation that they've actually encountered. Every single child group that they've had remembers a different set of turtles, but they have just enough similarity with each other that they can all be played with because they're all turtles. They're all green. They all are named Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and the core story of it is still technically there every single time. It's a bunch of brothers with a surrogate father fighting against evil, right? Whether it's the Foot Clan, whether it's a bunch of freaking a bully set of other mutants, it doesn't matter. The core set of the turtles themselves, that part is really the family aspect of it. You have your surrogate family with April. You have your extended family with Casey and all the others. And once that, for whatever reason, that formula has always fucking worked. It's never.
Did Mayhem do well? Because I'm not sure how well it did or how well it's received. But to me, if you remove the ninja part, then it's not it anymore, right? I understand that there's the mutants, they could fight them, but if there's no Foot Clan and Shredder, then what is it? It's like oh, Superman is not from Krypton, he's just got his powers from something else. It's but that to me is all of the other versions still have you have the core turtle stuff, but you also have the core villain stuff that I think is equally important because they're facing each other. That's the point. The foot is the hand, right, from Daredevil, so we know where it all came from. So it's if you're removing for me, it's like Ship of Theseus. You removed too many planks and replaced too many planks. Now this is not the Ship of Theseus anymore. Now this is just a ship.
Yeah, but J-Man, I think what you're forgetting is that this version of Turtles is not our version of Turtles, right?
It's not anyone's version of Turtles, is what I'm saying. Just make a movie about mutants fighting each other, right? Why is it Ninja Turtles?
I will accept that they are leaning on a property that is so popular that they decided to change it to their needs, right? Or whatever reason they changed it, right? But I also accept the idea, unfortunately, and I have to, because even and I hate to admit this, but even Thundercats Roar has its freaking fans, and I hate Thundercats Roar, but I've had to come to the realization that, every one of these creators who decided to, the writers, everybody, they decided to create something of their own, right? Because they're trying to appeal to the kids of the day. And I have to accept that. I have to accept that kids no longer gather in groups to hang out as they used to. And even when they do, they're looking like this. They're hanging out like this, right? The reality is that we are no longer those kids, right? If you take a Bayverse fan, right? If you actually take a Bayverse fan and you tell him, hey, who's your favorite Transformer? And he says, oh, it's Brawn, right? And then you say, hey, yeah, I love Brawn. And you show him Brawn, right? Your G1 Brawn. He's going to say, who the hell's that?
Right.
Right? There is going to be a disconnection between the versions of things as we see it. And we as the generation that here's the thing, and this is I think where a lot of people have a problem with, because our generation had the original, right, the Masters Universe, the G.I. Joe, the right. When we see the newest version of what we're like, that's a bastardization. How dare you do that? Don't touch my freaking G.I. Joes ever again.
Jay,
right?
You're going down the right thing, because I think there's a little bit of gatekeeping. Don't get me wrong, because I do it with the characters I love too.
Yeah.
But we had this conversation on one of our other chats, J-Man, where it was like, every time we get something new, it's really just an adaptation of whatever the source material is. And it changes by generation. But I think what Masters of the Universe kind of suffers from, where Turtles, because it's such a rock solid concept, it's easy to stray from the DNA with Masters of the Universe, and it could suffer.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, it's ninjas, man. Like you said, it's robots and cars with Transformers, and kaiju with Godzilla. Yeah. You can't go too far left or too far right.
You can still be okay.
You will still be okay. I think you're walking a tightrope with Masters.
Here's a question for both of you. Then here's a question for both of you. So Michael Bay Transformers, there was the 5 movies or whatever, right? And then it was Bumblebee was the 6th film. So if everything that you're saying is true, then why did they need that 10 minutes of Bumblebee at all?
No, but
why did they do it if it doesn't matter?
No, but it was a reboot, right?
I know, but why'd they do it? Just make your own thing again.
No, but it was a reboot, right? It was.
It's a reboot because Part 5 was a disastrous garbage mess.
I'll tell you why.
And they're like, let's get the core fans back by giving them 10 minutes.
You are correct.
Right? So the thing is, if it doesn't matter,
that was a studio decision.
Exactly.
And I'm sure there were people fighting in the boardroom on how much, and you're going to get this with this movie too. How much Earth are we going to get? Right.
10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We need to go. It's like a back to basics approach.
Right.
Without completely throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Right. Because Bumblebee still looked somewhat decent. You couldn't get the car rights. The problem is you couldn't get some of the vehicles when Michael Bay started out. Yeah. It was like military contracts and General Motors, or I don't remember the cars. I don't know cars, but you couldn't get the real vehicles, right? So you had to kind of play with it as best as you could and kind of make it make sense. But then why? So we're on the 7th movie or 6th movie, and now they're giving it to us. And same with Wolverine. They played this card. You can't have the costumes. You can't have the costumes. You can't have the costumes. Now you got the costumes, and everyone thinks that Deadpool and Wolverine is the best out of all of those movies because you finally got Wolverine. It's like, right, well, why didn't we get it? In the first movie, I walked out, why didn't we get Wolverine? And people gave me the same responses. Well, it's a different thing. It's different. It's like, but then if that's the case, why is the best Wolverine thing now is the Deadpool Wolverine, which was the original Wolverine, which we should have had 20 movies ago from the beginning, right? Like,
I agree with what you're saying to like just in principle. In principle alone, I agree exactly what you're saying. But if you look at the first X-Men movie, right? It actually, they said the line which you said was going to be funny, right? They said, well, what do you expect? Us to run around in yellow spandex, right? That was the line. But the reality is that when you create a film, right, it really is hard to go to sort of realize, rubber spandex on people. That is actually a really terrible idea. You know what I mean? Like, I argue you might as well just use rubber spray on latex. At least then it's like right there, right? But the reality is people actually don't look. No one can be a brute and a babe. Not the way superheroes are actually supposed to look like. It's impossible. You wouldn't like, not like even Schwarzenegger, as great as he looks, the guy can barely act. I mean, like, I love the guy. I'm a huge Conan fan. I'm a huge fan of all his movies. But you really dumb it down. He is a terrible actor, right? But you accept it. You accept it as a reality of the limitations of someone who has to look like that, right? But the thing is that for superhero movies, you're literally asking everybody to become those things. Chris Evans, he literally quit being Captain America because he said, "I can't keep this up. I just can't keep doing it. My body's just not. It was never made to do this, right?" I don't know how Hemsworth keeps it up. That guy That guy's he's Adonis.
Even Hugh Jackman, he relishes the time when he can go have a normal meal, right? Like it's hard when you're my age in the mid 50s and you're still trying to look like you're in your 30s, but super jacked.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat.
You didn't. My point more is that they didn't even try. Like Uma Thurman wore the Game of Death Bruce Lee costume, which was all yellow, and she looked awesome, and everyone knows that as an iconic thing. Now to the point where Bruce Lee is lesser known for that outfit than Uma Thurman's bride is known for that outfit. More people say that's the bride's outfit than, oh, she's wearing Bruce Lee's Game of Death outfit. They just made them all in black because they didn't make it for any reasons other than we think it looks cooler that way. To distance themselves from saying, we're not doing a stupid superhero movie, we're doing this better science fiction movie which has these powered characters in it. They're embarrassed by it. You know who wasn't embarrassed? Richard Donner in Superman. It's like, it's the real Superman. It's not a movie version of Superman. It's the real costume. It's not movieized or, oh, the belt looks weird, let's make it different. Or I don't like the embarrassment. Now it's less. Like Captain America First Avenger, that's a pretty awesome movie. He looks like they even gave him the cereal. They showed the part of him being in like a cereal, almost like they had the, which is cool. He actually wore the real costume. Yeah. And then he got the tactical version of it for when he actually went out. And
but that's exactly what it is, right? The Donner. So it's funny you mentioned the Donner cut, right? The Donner Superman.
Donner movie, yeah.
Right? Because if you actually listen to the interviews and stuff, not that you haven't, I'm just talking like to the audience, right? If you listen to the interviews, Christopher Reeves was actually the one who said, "No, I need to work out. I need to get stronger, better. I need to physically look the part because Superman needs to look like Superman, right?" And it is funny because you look at the belt. It's definitely one of those. It's actually more like a woman's belt from that era where it's like really vinyl. And it's got the big button in the front. And of course, these days we laugh at it, but he's wearing his trunks on the outside, right? But that really, if you're a comic book fan, that's what Superman is, right? And the line of the commercials, you will believe that a man can fly. They were really walking that line. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm pretty sure WB was like, this movie's a joke. You know what I mean? Just like Star Wars was. Star Wars and I think Superman predates Star Wars, right? Doesn't it?
No, 78.
It's after.
So 77.
Okay, yeah. So that's probably the only other reason why it was even greenlit, right?
It would have been greenlit before, though, right? Because it takes 2 years to film it and edit and everything.
Yeah, but you know what? That means that some producer was brave enough to say, yeah, let's try this. This is pretty crazy, but let's try it. But you know what, Donner. And this is, I think, where we're really hovering over. The director has to give it the respect it's due, right? And we're seeing that now as we talked about it, right? What's happening with Fantastic Four, right? That is about as comic book a movie as you're ever going to see. It sticks as close to the freaking source material as you. They brought back freaking Mole Man, for crying out loud. I was like, holy crap, Subterranea! Like that
was fun.
They brought back some deep, like today would be considered deep cuts, but those were staple FF villains from back in the day.
Red Ghost,
like it's pretty crazy.
No, he got cut out though. He got edited out. He had the super monkeys were in it though for like 1 second. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, but you know what? It's crazy how, as you said. But I think that now is the time to flex those retro muscles. Because you know what, people are more willing to accept it now, right? But it's still a struggle because FF did not do very well in theaters. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that is due because Marvel has done so many missteps and they've been caught with their pants down many times, and you can see like Fantastic Four was definitely. I hate saying it's the best since whatever, but it's definitely one of the better ones out of all of the last batch for sure.
What phase are we in, J-Man?
I have no idea, and no one cares anymore.
I think it's the better ones out of the latter movies.
Oh, easy, because
it's one of the best movies out of the last few.
Yeah,
for sure. It still has massive issues, but it's not offensive like I thought Eternals was offensive and boring and stupid and garbage and whatever. But anyway,
let me hop in.
Let's get some comments.
That's okay. Yeah,
I just want to hop into this one because it's really interesting. It says Masters Universe shouldn't be like the box art. It should be like a 300 movie infused with Star Wars and no Prince Adam and I know I have the power, or a cute little Orko. It should be dark, gritty, and fantastical. What are your opinions on that? Because that would be an interesting adaptation.
Yeah,
You need to have I have the power. My wife in India is a little girl in India. My wife's Indian from India. She knew I have the power. You need to have I have the power. You cannot escape that. That's part, because doing it dark and gritty is also distancing yourself from it in a different way. I don't like that either.
yeah. So J-Man actually is sorry, I agree with J-Man. And here's the thing. When Master of the Universe was first conceived, it was supposed to be an Edward a Robert E. Howard type of world. It was supposed to be basically a Conan clone. That's what it was supposed to. It was supposed to be Conan for kids. And if you look at the artwork, the Alcala artwork and comics of that age, of the first generation of the first concept of He-Man, it has nothing to do with Filmation at all. Filmation is what changed Master Universe forever. Okay, Filmation really is what saved Master Universe in a lot of ways, because Master Universe was fun, but when it took off, Filmation is the reason why it took off.
Yeah,
because kids really did resonate with the idea of I have the power. That's really where it actually took off. The Alcala comics, they were gritty, they were dark, they were actually kind of scary. You look at the original Skeletor depictions in that, he looks demonic.
Yeah,
it really does look scary. But I don't think it would have the longevity that Master Universe was able to enjoy if it had continued on that line.
Yeah, 100%. Beastman's like scary. None of this goofy shit that we're like, oh, Skeletor, like none of that. Like it's like, and even Savage, the first mini comics, I got the Dark Horses released like 400 of these hardcover volumes. I mean, they're like, I'm not going to go get them, but like they've got all the mini comics like compiled, and it's like He-Man's just like a savage guy. He goes off now we're calling her Green Goddess. She's not called that there. And it's like basically Green Tila gives them the armor, and it's the harness that gives them certain abilities and stuff. And you're like, oh, so it's like way different. Yep. And then Filmation came in. You gotta have, it's so powerful for kids. One of the Netflix, the CGI Netflix, one of the interesting thing was that they introduced, which was every character can get some of the power. They turned it into like the Shazam, like kind of like Jerry Ordway Shazam. Like you could share out Shazam's powers amongst the other kids. And then later, now they've got the Shazam family in the recent comics. But anyways, like Duncan would say, I have the power, and he'd become Man-at-Arms. So it was like Duncan becomes Man-at-Arms, Tila becomes Sorceress, and so forth with the villains. Like they can get powered up, right? So, and then Skeletor will just remove the power because he's being a dick. So all that stuff is really good. You need to have I have the power. I know people are like, oh, it's cheesy, but it's part of it. It's sewn into the fabric of that property. I don't see how it's like transform and roll out. Like how you gonna not have them say, let's transform and roll, or Avengers Assemble? Like,
it is now. Yeah. But I do see where who made that comment again?
Nobody. And I don't mean nobody, I mean the name
nobody. Yeah. I do feel that nobody does have merit to his. There is a world where He-Man is an Alcala He-Man. You know, He-Man is a what's it called? A barbarian, you know, who came out of the wilderness to try and find new game or whatever, you know, try to survive. And in doing so, he meets the goddess. Now we call her the Greek goddess, but she was originally called the goddess, right? And she bestows him the armor set, which was the whole gimmick, actually.
Yeah.
The whole gimmick is that if you take He-Man's armor set and put it on Skeletor gets He-Man's power. You put Skeletor's armor on He-Man, he gets Skeletor's power. That was actually the whole gimmick of that thing. You know, you put Beastman's armor on, he becomes more beastly. That was the actual idea behind the armor swapping, right? But Filmation literally turned that on its heads, and he just said, no, each of these characters is unique. They don't change their armor. They're people, right? They're people. Right. They have feelings, and it really brought it to the next level. And Lou Scheimer, the guy's a freaking genius, man. Like seriously, he knew what kids wanted. He knew how to make a show. You know what I mean? It was like all the stuff, whether it was Brave Star, whether it was even Shazam. Shazam was fun. You know what I mean? Like live action or not, it was like the whole Filmation era was just a lot of fun. You know, and it was really good. Fat Albert, guys,
That's a
say what you
great.
will,
That's a
but
great. Fat
great.
Albert's awesome.
Freaking amazing. Okay.
Brown Hornet.
The
I
Brown
think-
Hornet, dude.
See, like Star Wars was not made to sell toys. The reason these things of like it's made to sell toys, okay, if it's good and kids like it, they'll buy the toys because they want to relive the experience of watching the cartoon in their hands and where they can create stories. So whether or not everything is made for money. It doesn't matter what you are. A low Evil Dead 1, Sam Raimi, he didn't make that just so they could sip beers and watch it in their back. He's like, well, let me try to market this movie and get it out there. Everything is made to get it out there. But if you make it good quality and you're aiming it towards kids, which is to say, we want to have many characters, we want to have many vehicles, we want to have play set. But in order for a playset to matter, like for example, Dagobah plays, like Dagobah isn't an action playset. Dagobah is where a lot of character building and emotional stuff happens and learning to use force. So kids want to reenact, I want to reenact the scene. If they just flew by Dagobah and said, "Hey, Yoda," and then flew off, then there wouldn't be a playset because what would you reenact in that playset if nothing happens? So that something important has to happen. You know what I mean? And then the kids are like, oh shit, yeah, I want to, Hoth, Battle of Hoth. Okay, you want to buy your Hoth shit and get your toys and okay, I'm going to be the Empire today. You're going to be the Rebels and So you could sell toys by still making a very good high quality product that people will enjoy.
Yeah, I'm going to kick in here with a couple of these comments. So my buddy's Custom says the DreamWorks She-Ra series was amazing storytelling. And
I have not seen that one. That's the only He-Man thing I don't think I've watched. I forgot about it, to be honest. It didn't look that bad, and I just kind of forgot. I totally forgot. It's not available to purchase, right? So I don't own it.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that we're consuming, so you can be forgiven. And then predating that comment said the DreamWorks She-Ra reboot was a fantastic show for everybody, kids included, but Mattel just refused to do any large-scale exposure to it, aside from trailers and interviews. And then there's this other comment that he has. That they have where it says toy companies decided to go all in on older audiences for the 80s to the point they don't even try a whole lot of toys for shows. I keep saying if they made good Owl House toys, I would buy Ida.
I'm not sure what I think they're not making anything new for kids. Like when we were kids, we have like we just named today plus the comments. There's like 10, 12 easy cartoons. We said Brave Star. We've been doing that on my channel. Thundercats, right? So all of this stuff that we had, if all of that was dead, like all of that stuff is not the same. So I don't know what my mom grew up mostly in Croatia, but like I'm trying to think like prior to that was what, like let's say Herculoids, like what are some of the older cartoons like Battle of the Planets, or Gotcha Man, whatever you want to call it, like Speed Racer, some of these Japanese imports. It's like, so they had that, right? But a lot of those things died. Now they're coming back sort of in the sense that, there wasn't toy sales, as many toy sales. It was Reagan and saying, yeah, you can market to kids. That's where we got all this. But now they're tapping back into that. Where Ninja Turtles is like maybe the last thing I can remember because that's 90s, right? What was after Ninja Turtles? That's a big thing that's still around now that kids can enjoy now. Like my niece and nephew, I don't know what they're watching. I feel like Jay made this point too. Like, they're just consuming what they're consuming and then they move on to consume the next thing. They're like, we would watch He-Man, we'd go to school and then we'd go home and we watch like what, He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, let's say. Then the next day we go to school. Yo, Steve, shit. Did you watch Transformers? That was awesome. I can't wait for tonight's Transformers episode. Oh, I know. I missed Transformers, dude, but I saw G.I. Joe. That was sick. Yeah, okay. Then we talk about it. And then, oh, my mom bought me Cobra Commander. Oh, I just got Megatron. Oh, yeah, awesome. Then the next day, right? Then there'd be the weekend. Then you come back and you'd be like, yo, shit. What? Did you see Transformers? Oh, my God, that was awesome. Oh, I just picked up Starscream. Oh, man, yeah. That is gone, right? Like my nephew will sit down and consume 2 hours of, whatever, and then eats dinner and then plays on iPad, then maybe goes outside, then comes back, consumes more. It's not like he's meeting up with his buddies and talking about, hey, did you watch the same crap on the iPad that I just watched? Let's talk about it. That's not happening, right? So yeah, I don't know,
The
the communal aspect of cartoons and media is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
That's all replaced with social media. If you want to talk about how awesome something is, it's on social media, right?
Yeah.
So the TikTok generation really and you know what, attention spans are just there. It's really just completely like nil, right?
Mhm.
It's reducing every single day, which is why if you're in YouTube, like they're always encouraging people to try the YouTube Shorts. Like it's what they're doing. But here's the thing: payouts on YouTube Shorts are absolutely dismal. Okay, long format still has a place.
Mhm.
Because long format is the only place you can actually get paid. To be perfectly honest with you, you need
Yep.
millions upon millions of hits on your
shorts.
shorts or TikToks before you even see a dime. But getting back to the cartoons before we try and get a few more comments. By the way, guys, thanks so much
Yeah.
for joining us.
Yeah, you guys
Comments
have
are
been
just
awesome.
flying by. I'm seeing
Yes.
all these comments. It's crazy.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the beta. That's so at least they can see them scroll up.
Yeah,
the
that's
side.
a good idea.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
So, just so we can move on, I think what we can learn from this is that the generations have changed. Even like it was different from the 2000s, it was different from the 90s, it was different from the 80s, it was different. Like all of us always change, and this generation really has become the technical. This generation has more in touch with technology than any generation before it. Right? Even though many of us are savvy with computers, we can really do we can run circles around some kids. But at the end of the day, these kids will pick up technology like that. You give them about 5 minutes, they'll be able to figure it out, right? That's something that our generation just can't do. I know friends of mine who just would rather never touch a computer if they could afford it. Even their phones, they really have some difficulty using them, right? But now these companies that have these IPs, they got to figure out how to do that. They got to figure out how to engage. And I think we can segue this into the idea of a video game. Because video games are the next step for any of these old IPs to really recapture their audience, because these kids love video games. I think
before we do that, though, I'm gonna maybe have a kernel of hope for both of you. I'm just gonna share Allison and Bree and her comments on Evelyn. So let me see here. So Evelyn and Skeletor's interesting relationship teased by Masters of the Universe star Allison Brie. So while promoting her new horror film Together, Masters of the Universe star Allison Brie gave fans a taste of what to expect from her deliciously evil turn in the upcoming live-action He-Man movie. Now, we're not going to stay on this too long because I think we've probably checked this one out long enough. But speaking to Hey You Guys, Brie teased Evelyn's interesting relationship with Skeletor, stating, "I was incredibly excited to be a part of it. I've never played a true villain before. I've played human beings with villainous traits, but Evelyn is so deliciously villainous. She has so much fun with it. And I really love her relationship with Skeletor. It's very interesting. So all those things made the role really fun to play, and I'm so excited for people to see it. I do not think that generations that grew up watching He-Man are going to love it. So I do think that generations that grew up watching He-Man are going to love it. And I think it will be really fun to introduce to younger generations. So obviously they are aware that you have to court respect the old and court the new. But we'll see.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. You did something interesting. Do it. Complete your thought.
Well, I think J-Man was being called by Zordon, but
it was. That's where my that was to take my pills.
I knew. I was like, oh, there's the power.
I tried to stop it quickly.
It's okay. We need the Power Ranger call. So there's another thing, like these little cues or something, like little chimes, like these are things that only certain generations are going to recognize. So here's the thing about the Hollywood machine: it rarely does it ever respect, as we've seen, whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, whether it's any, it does not respect the source material. However, multiple reports have been coming out from people who saw the previews, from people who the freaking sword is from Filmation. That is the Filmation Masters of the Universe sword, and thank God, Because if they brought out the toy version of the sword, I would have just turned around. Like there are things which should be kept, and there are things which need to be changed. And to his credit, Galitzine is doing his best to try and fit the role. Now, the first photo we saw of him in silhouette, that's a tough picture to take. It was backlit. It was like there's a lot of light bleed. There's a lot of things which totally against him. And unfortunately, he was like the whole fan base just turned on him. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You know, the first Master Universe movie in years, and you're really turning on the poor kid. I think Travis Knight was the right choice. I think that if we're to believe that what people are saying when they came out of that preview from CinemaCon, if we're to believe that the costumes are on point and everything is in the right direction, then I'm hoping, beyond hope, that this is going to be a decent film. Seeing the two props at San Diego Comic-Con, though, they are on point. The Sword of Power looks absolutely the way it should be. The Havoc staff looks freaking incredible. Okay, very not only cartoon accurate, but very, very toy accurate in a lot of ways. I don't know what's going to happen with this film. I don't know what Evelyn is even going to look like. They've been really good at keeping this under wraps. Let's just keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it that way. We do know what Tila is going to look like, which, if you, whether it's Filmation or whether it's the toys, again, there has to be some realism and sensibility, because I make fun of this all the time. I'll be the first one to always say that whenever I was watching Master Universe, I thought they hired a bunch of strippers to walk around and do the rotoscoping, because literally they looked like they were half naked, like in the cartoons. Like yeah. I was a kid and like, holy crap, that's a lot of leg that Tila is showing. You know what I mean? Like I like it was crazy, right? So there have to be some sort of sensibilities for that. So Tila's costume, you know what? I think it's fine, right? But it hasn't stopped film goers from showing a little bit more risque costumes in the past. So it'll be interesting to see. Will they stick close enough to the source material? I'm not really sure. I think there's going to be a lot of changes. I think they're first of all, sending him to Earth, that never happened. We know that, right? So the fact that he grows up on Earth, it's already an egregious sin in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's already. If someone is so obviously taking the core elements that have already changed it, it's like you're already telling me that you don't care about this property. Like, I don't care what anyone else says. I'll see this movie. I buy everything. I'll buy it on 4K. Even if I don't like it, I still buy everything because I have to have it in my collection. So it doesn't matter. So I want it to be good because I don't want to spend $50 because I get a large popcorn with layered butter. We're in Canada and I go to IMAX for everything. So it's $27 to get in the door. And then it's like I spend another $20-something on to get large popcorn, layered butter. Then you get a fresh popcorn. That's a tip. And I get large drink, and I sit down and watch it. And then as soon as I go home, I pre-order the Steelbook on 4K. So it's going to be like a $50, $60 experience for He-Man. So I want it to be good, but I don't think it's going to do well, and I don't think I'm going to like it. That's I don't know. But the video game, that beat 'em up,
yeah, that
looks pretty damn good.
And we're going to that. We're going to that after these two comments, and then Jay. Yeah. Hold that comment for when we're into the video game section. Good. So Top Monkey Customs. I have a feeling the whole cast is pretty passionate about the project. Only concerns on my side is the Adam on planet Earth backstory.
Right. Well, that's the whole story. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say.
And then Wookiee Sasquatch asks, is Eternia going to be bright and colorful like Asgard and that bridge? I mean, that's the feel it needs. I'm not sure if you agree with that.
No, it's tough. I mean,
that's a tough one. Yeah,
a lot of it's probably going to happen in Snake Mountain anyway. Like just for the atmosphere and the mood. I imagine we'll probably see Eternos at some point, but it's tough to say. They've been successful at keeping everything under wraps. I mean, Castle Grayskull is dark and dungy anyway, right? So, it's going to be. You know what? J-Man, I feel very similar, but I have high hopes. I always go into things with high hopes, even knowing that it's probably not going to be exactly. but like I said, Travis Knight was able to do something really cool with Bumblebee, and you didn't really enjoy the rest. I enjoyed it.
No, I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay, but everyone always says the first 10 minutes and then makes it seem like that is all that you needed to make the rest of this movie really good. To me, I was like, it was an okay movie and I like Haley and that's it. The first 10 minutes is awesome, but so what? The whole thing should have been awesome.
Sure.
That's my take. Like, I don't think any of the Michael Bay movies are any good, and I own them all. I saw them all on the no, I did skip. I think I skipped. No, I saw them on the theater. Oh no, I skipped 5. No, I didn't skip 5. I saw them all in the theater, and they're all awful. And I own them all. They're all awful. But the action is good. Michael Bay can direct action. Nobody's going to say that, except the designs are so funky. But anyways, Bumblebee wasn't egregious. Like after every Bay movie, I walked out throwing up and how garbage it was. But Bumblebee, I thought, hey, that was okay. That was almost like a real movie. Or that was almost like a movie. I thought the Beast one was better than the Bumblebee one, though. Even though they messed up Optimus Prime and he hates humanity for some reason because they need to give a character arc.
That was just so ridiculous. Like,
he needs a character arc. Maybe he hates humans.
That's
okay.
But you know what? Like I said, I think video games is where we're going to connect with a lot more.
Yeah, this looks because the video game looks like the real He-Man. It's not movie He-Man. I love Dolph Lundgren, love that, but that's movie He-Man, right? It's like it's the real at least that side-scrolling beat 'em up kind of Ninja Turtle Simpsons style, which is what everybody wants. That X-Men arcade, Ninja Turtles, like Simpsons. Those are like your 3 best, because it's like, that X-Men game, I must have played that 4 trillion times. Like, I don't know how much money I spent. I probably could have bought the arcade machine with how much money I dumped into that thing.
Quarters left, right, and center. Well,
like Shadow Beast. Look at that shit. That's awesome. Look at that.
So He-Man and Masters Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction announced for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
This looks great. They actually have a trailer, but I just don't know. I don't want to get.
You'll get dinged, man. You'll get dinged.
So what I might do is I might play it and then just like pause and scrub,
like screenshot it or
see what we can do. So during Gamescom opening night live today, He-Man and Masters Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction was revealed. The game is coming soon to Nintendo Switch. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction is a retro-inspired brawler. Bitmap Bureau, which is gearing up for Terminator 2D in October, is behind this one as well. Some additional information can be found in the following rundown. He-Man, Teela, and Man-at-Arms do battle over 12 sprawling and diverse levels of non-stop action armed with a host of moves, abilities, and power-ups as they work to stop Skeletor's ancient ritual that threatens to plunge Eternia into darkness. So the key features are retro arcade gameplay, hard-hitting beat-em-up gameplay from the acclaimed Bitmap Bureau, spectacular magic and special moves so you can unleash massive magical attacks and awesome character specials to crush your foes, 12 epic stages, battle your way through 12 action-packed Eternian stages, and legendary cast. Play as He-Man, Teela, and more as you face off against Skeletor, Evil Lyn, and their evil minions, their wicked minions. So let's see what we can get out of here.
Yeah, what I'm
going to do is I'm going to cut the volume on the tab. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
No. Hold on. I was just going to check on something really quick. Of course not.
So so there's the screen, and they're using the toys, which is great. The action figures to bring in the for the commercial, which looks great. And
oh man,
there we go. This looks beautiful, man. I'm sorry.
Golden Axe. We're riding those weird.
Let me actually. You know what, Steve? I have the video itself. Let me that way I can probably control it a little bit. So
okay,
it has no audio anyway. So
So let me get out of here then.
Yeah. Let me.
So you're gonna bring it up?
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. So here, let's have.
Hey, Sean. Sean popped in the chat.
Hey, how you doing, Sean?
What's going on, Sean? Yeah, all right. So if you want to just share the screen, Steve.
Okay, so it's this one?
Yeah.
There you go.
It does have sound. All right. So it's interesting that they used the original toys to introduce this. I really love that idea.
Yeah.
Right? But then right away they start getting into it, and it's really cool because they have the Filmation He-Man and the Master Universe title screen, and the Dragon Pearl itself was an episode in it was actually released as one of the first episodes. But this one is the Dragon Pearl of Destruction, so it's actually a completely new IP. But it really is really cool to see all of these great characters. I mean, we see you can actually so Eagle Eye viewers, you might actually see that is the Tower of Eternia, right in behind, and Skeletor, Evelyn, and it looks like Jitsu right in front of it. So that's a really cool observation there. But then we get right into it and we see some gameplay here, and this is
look at that.
amazing. Like, look at that. That's crazy, right? We see Battle Cat, He-Man riding Battle Cat. We see some skeleton warriors. Like, this is just amazing. This is Shakoti, and we actually see that her entire castle, right?
That's pretty cool.
And those are her little demon minions, and it's really cool to see them in action. And as J-Man said, freaking shadow beasts, man. But one thing about these shadow beasts, they're too small. They need to be gigantic.
They're small, yeah.
Right?
Maybe it's the son of the shadow beast or something.
I know. And then we have Beast Man, who is pretty massive. But I mean, I love the final fight / what's it called? Definitely Golden Axe. And they literally ripped off a Golden Axe move in this game. It was so good. But I love that. And he calls down the power of Grayskull here. Like that's
this is Golden Axe, like the barbarian guy, the blue guy would call down the lightning or whatever. Yeah, that's cool.
This is just awesome. But you see Evelyn in the background just chilling. It's so good. What is that? Deception? No, Deception.
So Sean
this is Sean.
So Sean goes to. So you were at the Transformers Mississauga. I saw you there for a sec, Jay. But like, my back was on fire. My back's broken right now as we speak.
I'm sorry,
it's healing. So I did go to Sean couldn't make it, but we know you. I live like right close to the Mississauga where they do all the toy shows in Mississauga.
Yeah.
So I saw you at the TF. I was going to come up and say hello, but like I had to go. I was just like, my back was on fire. I literally went in, got a couple of things, and then went right back home. I was not there for more than 40 minutes, but I've seen you on with Steve, so it's nice meeting you in this way as well.
Yeah, it's great meeting you, and I love the enthusiasm. I love everything about it. See, so it's funny that they're using these generic control, and they're not even controlling it. They're just like, these guys are killing me, man.
This is how Sean plays when he plays at my place. When he plays these games, I always beat him. He just presses anything.
I'm a button masher too, Sean.
You guys are all, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm a Street Fighter 1 player from the day one, and it's precision moves, guys. It's precision moves.
But you're not predictable when you button mash.
Check out this move. I don't know if it's Skeletor or who threw it, but I mean, this look at this fireball move. It's like somebody transformed into a flaming ball of fire and just like, it was Evelyn.
Oh, it's Evelyn.
Evelyn, cool. Basically. Oh my God, that's crazy. Cool. Look, she literally transforms into a ball of fire and decimates He-Man. Like,
that was awesome.
Oh my God, that's freaking crazy. Like He-Man's on I think that's Skeletor's throne right now. He doesn't know what hit him, right? So yeah, this is going to be a really cool game. Wow, they have the orcs. They have the what's it called? The demonic orcs from Skeletor's realm. That's crazy. I love the deep cuts.
This is like super deep. Like this is even because like I've got most of the classics figures because I had the subscription or whatever, and it's like even some of these guys, they missed some of these guys.
I love Duncan's charge up attack here.
Yeah,
like cool. He's like, you never see him use his mace in the cartoon series, so it's really cool seeing him use some melee weapons. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, this is like really killer. And again, you almost never see He-Man using his sword against anybody, so it's really cool.
Not in Filmation, that's for sure. He usually punches or throws people.
Yeah. So it's really cool seeing him actually use it for what it's supposed to be, and it's really, really cool. This is going to be a great game, but I hope it comes out soon because I remember they did a G.I. Joe release game with the same engine, and unfortunately, I still have never seen anybody do a review on it. I got to find out what happened with that game.
Hey, what was that, Mega J? Was that was Grandemir or something, or someone summoned them?
Yeah.
What was that?
Here. It's Grandemir and Orko basically
shit.
being called down as a magic spell.
That's
Right?
like the girl from oh my god, that's the exact Golden Axe. That's the girl character, the female. She comes in that brings the dragon in. That's badass.
Yeah, and Tila's actually the one who's casting it.
Oh my
right?
god, that's
so
awesome.
it's so
man.
good. It's like
What?
everything we've wanted in a beat 'em up. Like
Oh.
that's freaking crazy. And look, even Orko's like
Oh my god, yeah. Orko shooting, that's cool.
It is really crazy, man. It's yeah, Orko, exactly, Paul. Orko with the assist. So crazy, right? But I mean, like just the calls to other franchises, you know what I mean? Like it's really cool. Like to think that Granomir would actually come and like help them. It's hilarious. I find that hilarious.
That is hilarious. That's so cool.
But then even these crocodile robots. I mean, that was from a very specific episode in the series.
I don't even remember these guys. I got to brush up on my old He-Man. I haven't watched it in a while. Oh my god, that's crazy.
I love the blast effects. You know what I mean? Like, look at these guys. Just a whole bunch of melee effects. It's really cool. And huge shout out to limited run games. So there will be a physical collector's edition. Limited run is known for that. So it's gonna be really great. And of course, Bitmap Bureau, who does all of these TMNT style games, right? They started with games like what's it called? Who is it again? Scott Pilgrim. They started with games like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and then they moved on to like TMNT. Then they did G.I. Joe and just a whole bunch of different things. I even think, if I'm not mistaken, they actually did the Final Fight beat 'em up as well. Not Final Fight, sorry. The Streets of Rage.
Those are great.
God.
Yeah, those are great.
That's taking me back.
Steve, before you grab that super chat, I gotta go. I'm on vacation, so I've got an early day tomorrow. But thank you so much for having me on, buddy. I'll see you on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Mega J, it's great meeting you. Next time I see you at the show, we'll talk a bit. I love your stuff. Sean's a big fan as well, so it's a pleasure being on here with you.
And everyone, please check out J-Man's channel. I'm going to put it into the chat. Make sure you like and subscribe to stuff. If you love comics, if you love toys and anything nostalgia, movies as well, he's the guy to check out.
Really quick before you go, J-Man, I did want to say really quickly while you're here, my friend Danny Green and I, who do another podcast and other things, we're actually have a couple of things in the works. One of them is an upcoming event, possibly in November. It's going to be it's going to be toy focused, and awesome. I can't speak too much about it right now, but I did want to mention that. And for all you Master Universe fans, my good friend Mike of Attorney of Royalty and I are planning a convention, He-Man themed convention to celebrate next year, because everything's coming back. He-Man.org has come back. Master Universe, the movie, is coming into theaters, and 2000X has two different action figure waves. One for Mattel and one for Mondo. It is the time for Master Universe. We need to celebrate this, guys. So yeah,
I'll show you real. I do have a couple of actual cells. I've got He-Man and I've got Beastman as well. They're all packed up. So, and the backgrounds came. The guy gave me some backgrounds and stuff too. So yeah, I got a few. I pulled these out to show and I forgot because we got so into the conversation. But anyways, all right. Well, that's awesome, guys. Thanks so much.
J-Man,
appreciate it.
Hit me up. We should collab sometime, brother. Like
100%, man. I'm down for anything. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a good one. Enjoy your vacay.
Good journey, brother. Take it easy. Oh man, that was great seeing J-Man. You know, it's always great to have his expertise on the show. Can you throw out that super chat? I think it's from Derek. Skeletor himself.
Which one are you looking for?
There's a
there we go.
Yeah. All right, huge shout out to Skeletor. Mega J, appreciate you, bro. Thanks again for MOTU. Game looks so awesome. It's about time.
Awesome.
Good
and then
stuff.
I got one for you, Jay. This one is from A Toy Kinda Mood. Cannot wait for this game, Mega J. Too much He-Man. Bro, you're about to have the year of your life.
Yeah, Travis, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much. Good old Moody. Moody's in the house. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to A Toy Kinda Mood. If you're into G.I. Joe, you're going to love that show. It's no, that was a roadblock moment. It's great stuff going on over at A Toy Kinda Mood, guys.
No, for sure. For sure. And Jay, have you seen the other announcement where they're coming out with a digital card game?
So I know that there is more in the works, but I did not know about a digital card game. So lay it on me, Steve. I'm excited, man. Like Master Universe is literally killing it right now. They are just moving in so many different directions. It's insane.
Yeah, so this one caught me off guard because it's from it's with Gambit Gaming. And here we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Mattel partners with Gambit Gaming for Masters of the Universe digital card game.
Neat.
So He-Man and Skeletor are taking their duel for dominance to digital with an all-new Masters of the Universe video game from Mattel and Gambit Games launching later this year. Battle for Eternia is a strategic collectible card game that brings the action-packed battles of the franchise into a new arena. Players will collect art cards inspired by Masters of the Universe fan favorites, from heroes and villains to powerful weapons and spells. Available on iOS, Android, and PC, this game will hook longtime lovers of the series while introducing a new generation of fans to the magic.
That's crazy. Card games are all the rage right now. If they start getting into what's it called? If they start getting into a Pokemon style tradable cards, I think that, like, right now they're all the rage. Like I was at a toy show, but it was more like a card show. These kids do not play.
Oh,
They
no.
do not play.
No.
My God.
They are crazy serious.
Bro, I saw these kids, and you're the one who wised me up to this. I saw these kids with freaking satchels, and they were lock and key satchels. I was like, Steve was not kidding. These kids are serious.
Showing up with like metallic attache cases.
Oh God! You know what? Let me bring one up. I'll show it to you because I was in shock. I was in absolute shock when I saw this. Like in real life, I was like, this cannot be real. This has got to be a joke, right? Or this has got to be a setup. I'm being set up here. Like I was in shock. I was in absolute shock. Let me bring it up. But I can bring up this video too if you want, Steve. We can take a little bit of a closer look at it
on Toy Book. If that's the case, then I'll stop sharing it. If you can get it,
yeah, I got it.
That'd be great.
Let me just let me see if we got it here.
Skeletor says we need a fighting game now. If they could do a Capcom version, I think I saw that in the chat earlier on. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. So you can share the video if you want, Steve. But let me show you guys quickly this photo.
Do that first.
This blew me away when I saw it. I mean, I was at this show, and I was just like minding my own business, trying to sell some toys and do some stuff. And then, like, I was just looking around, and I see these kids with these freaking satchels, man. Like, I also met Bret Hart, which was just freaking awesome.
There you go.
That was like the highlight of the whole thing. Huge shout out to VonCon.
Can you put that up again?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Huge shout out to VonCon for giving us the opportunity to meet to meet the excellence of execution, man.
That's right, the
Like,
Hitman.
seriously, he's still a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, man, like, we were there, and let's see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, right here. Check this out. Like, these are like,
it's no business, man. Walking in there,
that is serious.
Like they're dealing narcotics or something, man, from back in the 80s.
That's just crazy. And if you look carefully, like, those are lock boxes.
Yeah,
like that's some serious stuff, man. There were some deals. There were some deals to be had at that convention, man. Like, let me
Mega
see
J. The only thing they're missing are handcuffs from the case to
the
wrist.
There were some I swear. Look at this. Like that. Like, look at those glass cases.
Yeah, man.
Like, there was some serious money being thrown around that day. I was in fear for my life. Like, honestly, like, these kids do not play, man. These kids do not play. It was crazy out there, man. It was crazy, right? It was just nuts. I was hoping nobody was going to try and steal something, because I know, like bullets would have started flying. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely nuts. So yeah, crazy. You want to share the video? We'll break it down.
Absolutely.
So these are digital cards. So we get to see Snake Mountain here, which is really neat. Then we see, of course, Skeletor. Ooh, here we go. And it's really neat because these ones are actually based off of the more recent iteration of the Master Universe Revolution and Revelation. So
Right.
we can see all the characters here. We see He-Man, the Tila Sorceress. We see Man at Arms. What does that say here? Reinforcements, which of course is one of the support cards. We see Orko. So this is really neat. They all have different values.
Yes.
I don't care what you think. And where is it here? If we move in further, yeah, you can play your cards on a digital deck, right? Lay them out. I'm really hoping that they do physical cards because again, it's big money. Like these physical cards are big money.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I think it'd be a lost opportunity. And I agree with that Decepticon there that if they don't have the physical ones, I think they're just missing. They're missing out on an opportunity.
Money on the table, man.
Yep.
It's like leaving money on the table. It would be a ridiculous idea. Not to do that properly. What's going on here?
You're in a time loop.
Yeah, so we got some really cool stuff. Obviously, this is all digital part of the gaming, and just to make it more interactive, I guess they actually show how your characters are doing depending on the turns. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Really getting mixing both the elements of card-based gaming and video games. So yeah, I think it's going to be neat. Mattel's really leaning into the idea because I think they're taking cues from Hasbro. That you know what, the toy market is I'm not going to say finite, but it does have a shelf life to a certain degree. So they're trying to diversify. But yeah, Gambit Games, 80th anniversary of Mattel, just great stuff that they're doing for all this new IPs and for reinvigorating old IPs into the new medium. So yeah, really cool stuff. But yeah, if they need to do a physical card game, they really do. They need to bring that into the play, and that would really get some of these kids into He-Man. I think that this is a good move. I think that diversifying it in this way, I think it really will give He-Man a shot in the arm. I think that's definitely something that can be done.
Well, think of the heat that Rivals created.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a definite case of adapt or die. We spoke about last week where Marvel and Disney are basically taking their library and going to webtoons, right?
Yep.
So if you don't prepare yourself for what's coming, because like the old times of having a cartoon to sell either toys or cereal or whatever, those are done.
Exactly.
On streaming anyway. So, and with all the streaming being diversified, not all on one platform and all that kind of stuff, you got to figure out a way to hook not only the older gen, but the ones that are coming up, because they're the ones that are going to keep it going after we're gone.
Yes. It's that little trick that that Marvel is still trying to figure out. And J-Man's not here, but the reality is that Marvel is continuously changing their characters now. You know what I mean? Like the old versions of those characters are gone now. Like they you can barely recognize them anymore as a traditional Spider-Man or traditional Peter Parker. They've evolved to this new generation of heroes. You know what I mean? So gone are the brutes and babes, and now it's more realistic in a lot of ways, right? But they're still trying to capture that secret sauce. That one spark, and I think that's really what they're hoping for. So. And now every company out there, every toy company, every media company is just looking for the same magic.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going to share J-Man's YouTube page. Please check out J-Man. Follow his channel, like and subscribe on his stuff as well too. Friend of the channel, great guy, and you'll love some of the stuff that he's got up on his channel for sure.
Absolutely. Loved his insights. You know what I mean? It was really great to get all those.
It's great having two passionate Masters Universe fans who are diving into it and looking at it not only critically, but also with some sort of optimism of what could come out from the stuff that we're all trying to do. And like, because they're trying to make things happen, but it's hard. Like, the market's hard. Everybody's scuffling. Everybody's struggling to find something that'll hit. And I can't lie. I watched that. What's on Netflix? What the hell is it called? K-pop Demon Hunters. And I can see why. I can see why that is such a big hit. Completely. I may have lost Jay. I think he might be frozen.
No. I'm good.
Yeah. No, but I can see how, like, it's just difference in storytelling and taking the elements that the kids intrinsically like already, and then adapting the same stories that we would have listened to, watched, or played the games of, but in this new form of storytelling with these new elements, and that's what's hooking them.
Yeah, no. It again, it's that secret sauce, right? Like they're trying to figure it out, and the thing is that, as I alluded to earlier, nostalgia seems to be a big factor right now. Like they are really leaning in on the nostalgia trip, and I think that the toy companies are trying their best to double dip, with this idea, and that's, I think, what is upsetting a lot of fans, because yes, they are still dipping into the nostalgia pool, but it's also changing the tried and true characters which people are longing for, and I think it's that little thing. How far do you tread that line? Again, talking about Roboto, talking about Man at Arms, talking about all these characters, Ram Man, Fisto, right? All these guys who you think are going to look a certain way and now have changed, right? But as I said, they're really trying to capture an audience which is not us. They're looking for that new edition, right? What is it that's going to appeal to the younger audiences? And I can't fault them for that. I really can't. Like, if they don't capture the secret sauce, if they can't do it, then no one's gonna continue these stories, right? That's just the way it is. And sometimes you have to make a newer version of the story, and I think that's really what I think a lot of these storytellers are trying to do. They're trying to make a new story.
Yeah. Javier Rios says MOTU needs to get the attention of the kids.
Yes, Javier's
Yeah.
right.
Sean here says, not sure why these toy companies didn't jump more to games. Skylanders was huge, combined with, and I always thought MOTU could have done that.
Yeah, Master Universe would definitely have benefited, because Skylanders had these little toys, and you them, right? It would have been a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have Brian 460. I don't do Yu-Gi-Oh, but I do have the cards, or at least 20 to 30 of them. If they were all online, then I'd have bought nothing. Yes, I have 3 blue eyes for those.
Wow.
Well done.
That is you got your retirement fund right there. That's freaking crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on a second. And then also says, if you don't connect with the parent moneymakers, then they will die. Yep. Yeah, I think the entry point, and you made a good point about this with the figures being like $12 back in the day. And I think of like comics, you can get into your comics when we were kids, and 75 cents, when they went to 75 cents, people were losing their mind because it was 50 cents before that. But now it's $4.99, $3.99 for one book. And that used to be like 2 months worth. $2 would be like $4 would give you 2 months worth of books. And so having whatever they're doing and having them be accessible to the public and the market and not pricing themselves out, that's kind of one of the keys as well too, because just everything's more expensive.
Yeah, and that's, I think, why this game is more digital, because it's easier to digest, it's easier to utilize, and as you said, they're trying out different things, which is a good idea. I think that now with the video game, the beat 'em up, and now with this card game, I think they're trying different things and needing to keep it alive. So yeah, I'm these, like, the younger generation doesn't really collect anything anymore. It's all digital stuff. So You know,
It-
if toy companies are going to
you
survive,
don't
with
own
that,
anything, Jay. You don't own anything. You license it.
it's so weird.
It is so weird,
So weird. It's just a weird time. It's a
right?
weird time.
Like I know that Jay talks about buying everything. He buys the 4K, the Blu-ray, everything, but he's got physical copies of all the stuff that he likes. He won't ever run into a situation, for the most part, where his favorite show gets taken off of Netflix, and then he can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And that's kind of where we are.
Yeah. But we'll see how that pans out. I mean, like, again, there's so many instances now where these companies have IPs and they really don't know what to do with them, right? Like Brave Star is another example. That property needs to. I mean, you've been talking about it for weeks, Steve.
So
That property needs to come back.
Decepticon and J-Man and I, we go through the episodes for the OG cartoon on Sundays, and it's through J-Man's channel, and I was surprised at how good that cartoon is.
Yeah,
like just deep, and the animation's great, and it's something that I missed the first time around because I was aging out at that point.
Yeah.
But as a retrospective, we're loving it.
Absolutely. And again, it's really too bad. I'm hoping that younger audiences will start rediscovering older IPs. I mean, have you ever seen a young kid like discovering old music for the first time? It blows their mind.
Yeah, there's YouTube channels where they're like
absolutely blows their mind.
They're listening to a song from the 90s or the 80s for the first time, and they're losing their mind.
Yeah, they just can't, because today's music is just so contrived. It's just a it's a loop. It's a freaking loop, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Master Universe, it's going strong, Steve, and it just keeps getting stronger and stronger. I cannot believe a whole episode on Master Universe. Wow, my dream come true, Steve.
Well, when I saw all the news breaking, I was like, "No, we got to do this for Mega J," because they are rolling out the red carpet big time for this IP. I think there's a ton riding on this film, and they got to make it work.
They do. And to celebrate that, Steve, I have an announcement. I wish J-Man had stuck around a little bit. I know he's in the chat.
Yeah.
But officially, I do want to announce that my friend, Attorney and Royalty, and myself are planning a convention, a Master Universe convention, themed convention, which is going to be held in California. It's something that both Mike and I have been talking about for a while. We sort of just started talking, and it came up because another great, of course, the legendary PowerCon basically had moved out of LA and continued in a different state, Ohio. But it became a less He-Man focused, Master Universe focused. And earlier this year, the original organizer, Val Staples, he said that he would love to bring Master Universe Con back. And it just gathered this amazing amount of excitement from the community. And I want to help Val as much as I can. But you know what? It was in California. I don't know where it's going to be held. But when I was talking to Mike, he basically impressed upon me that he really wants to bring something to California, and the advantages to bring it in California are massive. Mainly because all of Hollywood is there. It's just you know as well as I do, Steve. Trying to bring guests up to Canada is fucking expensive, man. Like
it ain't easy,
bro. Every time I've had to bring a voice actor up here, it's cost me a mint. It has cost me an absolute mint. Like I brought up, the casts of Kill la Kill. I brought them up. Both of the main characters, I brought them up. Right? It cost me thousands of dollars. Right? I brought up some of the cast of what's it called? Fairy Tale. You know what I mean? And other great, like the entire Sailor Moon cast is here. And you know what? I was so lucky to have them all here. That was a huge, huge thing for us. But anytime you have to bring a star or any guest from a different country, specifically, is expensive as hell. And even bringing a guest from a different state to another state, it is incredibly expensive. The housing cost, the thing. Having the convention in California just makes sense because they're there already. You know what I mean? Like you can possibly get Fisto, you can possibly get Man at Arms, you can possibly get like probably the bigger names like Jared Leto or whoever, whatever. They're probably not going to be able to. Those probably unattainable. But imagine you get like I said, a Ram Man or any of these guys who are like supporting characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be absolutely amazing. I'm not saying we're actually going to be able to do that, but what I'm trying to say is that wouldn't that be an amazing thing to celebrate Master Universe? And then, like a landslide, there's a video game coming up. There's a card game coming up. There's like 2 different waves of Master Universe 2000X coming up. Literally, and you know what? She-Ra's 40th anniversary was not really a birthday party; it was more like a birthday card. So we want to take that. And we want to really celebrate the princesses of power. You know what I mean? We want to celebrate that. We want to do that. So, talking to Mike, we're planning on something big. We're going to be asking the community for a lot of help because it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of time and effort, and we're looking for volunteers. We're looking for other organizers to help us out. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for anything to help this thing get off the ground. But I did want to, here on Comics Asylum, I wanted to you guys to be among the first to officially hear from myself that I am 100% on board with this, and I'm doing my best to raise whatever funds I can. I have myself and Mike are going to do a live stream probably tomorrow, and talk more about it. But there's never been more Master Universe in the public consciousness than there has been now, Steve. I think this is the most it's ever been in terms of people's awareness of Master Universe. So it would be stupid not to try and get a convention to celebrate that going. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I agree, and that's a great idea what you got going there. I can't wait to see how it comes about. And if you need me for anything, just
Steve,
let me know.
I'm gonna lean on you like a freaking wall, man. I'm just I need the support. I need the support.
Sounds
fall
good.
over.
Sounds good. Top Monkey Custom says the She-Ra Swiftwind pack feels more like birthday, but it's ridiculous. We still have an Adora announcement.
That would be sick. That would be sick.
Decepticon agreed. She-Ra should have been celebrated more. You know what? It's interesting. I think she was just one of those IPs that we take for granted.
Yeah, it is. It's no matter what, it was aimed at a different audience, but it's still part of the same, structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still part of the same IP, right?
Yeah.
And it has its fans. I mean, the Barbie She-Ra sold out like that in its first go around. It was absolutely bonkers. And now with this new She-Ra that's been announced for the 40th anniversary, finally for She-Ra and Swiftwind, I guarantee that one's going to be a hot seller. And I really do think it's unfortunate that Mattel just did not give She-Ra the respect that she was due this year. Very few Princesses of Power. I think we got Frosta and Catra, and I think that's it. We need Scorpia, we need Flutterina, we need Mermista. You know what I mean? We need all these characters. We need freaking Glitter. Queen Angela. We need some Harpies. We need a whole bunch of different characters, and it's been a really slow and disappointing ride. Now, mind you, He-Man's 40th was filled, of course, with Master Universe, but the actual He-Man from the 40th anniversary, his actual 40th anniversary figure came out right at the end of the year of his birthday. So I guess I can see what's going on. Mattel has their own release schedule, so it's kind of weird. And we didn't actually get a 40th anniversary Skeletor until now. That's crazy. It's already been 3 or 4 years later, and finally, really strange. Really strange.
Better late than never, as they say, right?
Yes, 100%. I totally agree.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's get in a couple more of these comments, and
Sure.
then Mega J. I think we've pretty much run the gamut on MOTU. This was great. We had a
No,
lot
there's
of
still
fun.
more to come, but we did the latest. One other thing we did want to say is He-Man.org is back, guys. He-Man.org is back. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow, so definitely tune in for that. We'll talk about it. But let's get to the comments. Let's get to the comments.
No worries. Let's see, what did I start here? Okay. Decepticon says, I still watch that Netflix She-Ra show. It was okay, 50 episodes. It was a bit too sensible for kids.
Yeah, it was aimed at kids.
Yeah, J-Man, She-Ra has fun characters.
Yes. She has great
Very
characters.
much so.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Top Monkey Custom says, I hope the She-Ra Swiftwind pack is limited to one per customer.
Nope, the flippers are gonna have a field day, man.
Those are already flipped.
Those flip boards are gonna have a field day.
They are already flipped.
Absolutely.
And also, I hope that the She-Ra Swiftwind 2-pack won't be too difficult to get. Sorry, Nolan. It's probably going to be tight.
Get there early, brother. Wake up early. Make sure you got your spot because it's gonna be war. It's gonna be war.
And J-Man, thanks again. Really appreciate you hopping on the stream tonight.
Yeah, so
it was awesome to see you and to chat MOTU with you. And Mega J, loved chopping it up with you as well too. Okay,
absolutely,
guys, I gotta go. It was great streaming. Take it easy. You two enjoy your vacay for sure.
Take care, brother.
So Mega J, thanks again. It was awesome. It was another great couple hours hanging out, chatting, and connecting with the community and celebrating and being a little bit discerning as well too on Masters of the Universe. And I'm open. I'm open to see what happens. I don't have the legacy baggage. So if the movie's entertaining, which I hope it is, then it's a win.
Yeah. I'm not expecting much. I'm going with a healthy amount of skepticism. I just want a good movie at this point. You know what I mean? Like, casting choices aside, I think that the cast is incredibly well acted. I think that we have some incredibly talented individuals there. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I just want to watch Mass Universe on the freaking big screen, like literally 35 years later. It's I think I'm right. I think I'm correct in saying that 35 or 36 years later, another movie has finally come out. You know what I mean? I think it was 87. 87 was when Mass Universe. Actually, yeah, maybe I should say 34. 34 years later, it's finally happened. So,
do you know if it's going to be an IMAX at all, or?
I have no idea. Honestly, there's been actual little information about what type of movie it is. I hope it is my IMAX. That would be great. And here's the other thing. On a completely opposite spectrum, Voltron is like the secret lock and key. No one has any information on Voltron, not even a freaking photo. Like, Voltron is the secret project of secret projects. I have no idea. No one has any idea what any of the characters even look like. It's crazy.
Wow. I'm surprised there's been no leaks.
I'm shocked. I mean, it's supposed to come out in 2026. At least that's what I remember.
That's not that far away from now.
It's right. We're on the doorstep, man.
Yeah.
On the doorstep.
If anything, we should be getting some sort of images in the next couple of months.
That's what one would hope, right? But right now, like I said, it's going to be it is one of the most successful movies at keeping secrets because I have heard nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. Other than the few things that they do talk about. It's pretty stark. It's pretty crazy. So
right.
One other thing that we should at least say is the Snake Lair is nearly funded. Everybody, it's only oh my gosh, it's like 33 backers away from being funded. So guys, like that is crazy. Let me just share it.
Really quick. Share it up
really quick. Mattel Creations. So heading over to Mattel Creations, guys. Where is it? Heading over to Mattel Creations, guys, and then scrolling down from the top. Where is there? There's Up your collection. What the heck? Oh, back up. What is going on here? Okay, hold on. This site sometimes messes up because they got way too many things going on at the same time. They got a video playing. They got what is happening here? Refuse to connect. Look at this. This is crazy. Come on, stop it.
I'm getting the Heisman here.
I know it's taking a crap. There we go. Finally. All right, there we go.
There you go. 33.
Doing it again. There it is. Okay. It's the stupid video. This video is screwing everything up. And by now they should really just take it away. All right. So there it is. What the heck?
It's just pop-up hell you're going through.
Yeah, I know. Okay, stop. There we go. All right, there it is, guys. 5,967 backers of 6,000 backer goal. Literally 99% funded. Only 7 days left to go, guys. This is not only is this doable, this is going to happen. But in order to lock Lord Pythonus, we need 2,000 more backers. It's going to be a hard stretch, but it has happened in the past. So, guys, if you haven't already, please consider backing the Snake Lair. It is a big ask. I'm not going to say no, but this is definitely the lair that we wanted. And if you backed it early, Lady Slither is already available to you. And once we unlock the Snake Lair, the Chimera animal companion does actually come with the Snake Lair. No need to unlock it anymore. But Lord Pythonus is going to be a tough ask. That one I'm not going to lie about. He is going to be a hard ask. But we can do it, guys. We can do it. We have the power. We have the power to do it. So let's get ourselves a Lord Pythonus, guys, because he is the last piece of the puzzle, and we only need 2,000 backers in 7 days to make it happen. So, oh my gosh, Steve,
that's a tall order. That's a tall order, but
it is a tall order. It is a tall order. But it can be done, Steve. It can be done. We can do it. We have the power. We have the power.
All right, excellent. So everyone who joined us tonight, everyone who was in the chat, who were viewing us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, we want to thank you so much. This was an incredibly lively live stream. I needed the powers of Barry Allen to keep track of all the comments. Loved it. And we had some great conversation between Mega J, J-Man, and myself. We had a great time. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And we'll see you all in 7.
Thank you, guys. Good journey. Geek proud.
Take care.